Hello everyone, today is 31st of December, now it's 10:30 in the morning Moscow time. I'm Levan Gudadze and this is my first for a day and last for a year update in which I will share all the main news that are making headlines in Russian media and Russian language pages on different internet platforms, and there are quite a few very significant developments and news that I'd like to share with you for this moment. Although before I start, first of all, Happy New Year to you all, to your families, to your friends, to all good people worldwide. I hope next year, 2025, will be much more peaceful and much more successful to all of us. And I really hope soon day will come when I have no longer to report about Ukrainian crisis. Hopefully, this bloody civil war in Russian world will end soon. And in my updates, I will be focused on more positive developments than currently. That's being said, also let me thank you all, dear friends, for your attention and support. Without you, this project obviously would not exist, and I'm truly grateful for all the attention and support that I'm receiving from our community that allows me to continue this work. Recently, on YouTube, we reach 5 million views, which is a quite significant achievement for a small channel like mine. And so hopefully next year, it will be possible to reach some other milestones also. So thank you all. That's been said, let's go through some news, and well, I will start with this report from RT that according to Russian Defense Ministry, Russian Armed Forces liberated 2 more settlements in the DPR, and these settlements are Novo Lenovka and also Krasnoarmeysk. So these 2 settlements have been liberated, although if you take a look at the map, number of sources are reporting that more settlements actually were liberated, although the Defense Ministry did not yet confirm this information. So this settlement is Novo Lenovka. This settlement is Novo Elizavetovka. Both are under Russian control, according to reports. Also, Russian troops established control over their Solenaya settlement. This one, Kiev regime's forces were forced out from there. Also, Russian troops established control over the Volkova settlement. Russian troops established control over the Pishane settlement. Russian troops are getting closer and closer to Pokrovsk city, and I guess it's only a matter of couple of weeks at this point, and we will see beginning of the final operation to liberate, final push to liberate Pokrovsk-Mirnograd agglomeration. So progress of the Russian armed forces are obvious, not just in zone of special military operation, but also, of course, in Kursk salient area, which is shrinking and shrinking as time goes by. And right now, invading force of Kiev regime and NATO mercenaries are only in control of Suja settlement and surrounding several villages, and that's about it. I guess it will not take longer, maybe another month also, and most likely Kursk salient will be also fully liberated. Let's continue with some more news. Interfax is reporting that Russian side and Kiev regime conducted exchange of POWs. 150 Russian POWs were freed, and in exchange Russia also freed 150 Ukrainian POWs. Earlier I reported that Russia had a big list of, Russia was ready for big POW exchange. Russian side prepared 2 lists for 600 and 900 POWs that Russia was ready to release if Kiev regime would agree to release Russian POWs, but I guess that negotiations failed there, although at least some agreement was reached and both sides freed 115 prisoners of the war. Also, TASS news agency is reporting that during the nighttime, early hours of this morning, Russian air defense systems on duty intercepted 68 Ukrainian drones that were launched to strike deep into Russian territory, obviously with the assistance of NATO member states that are providing flight path and the targeting data for these drones, and all the long-range weapon systems that formerly Kiev regime is using. To go into more details, 25 drones were intercepted in Bryansk region, 17 drones were intercepted over the Crimea, also 11 drones over the Krasnodar region, 10 drones over the Smolensk region. Two drones over the Tver region. Also, drones were intercepted over the Rostov, Kursk, and Kaluga regions. Unfortunately, during their attack on Smolensk region, seems like one of the drones, or maybe several drones, managed to bypass air defense systems and targeted Energo facility, or maybe it was fragments of intercepted drone that failed into that Energo facility. But in any case, fire erupted there, and emergency services are working now to neutralize consequences. This is the pictures of that Energo facility that was targeted by Kiev regime. At this point, no reports about casualties on the ground. Of course, if any update on that, I will share additional information during the day on my Telegram channel. Also, according to reports that I see on different sources in Russian segment of internet, Kiev regime was actively using maritime drones to target Russian military assets and also civilian infrastructure in coastal areas of Russian Federation in the Black Sea. Although, based on what I see in reportings in Russian segment of internet, seems like all of these maritime drones were destroyed. At least for now, we don't have any reports that Kiev regime and its NATO backers managed to dealt some significant damage to Russian side with these maritime drones. And also, when it comes to these long-range strikes deep into Russian territory, several sources, including Western sources, I believe even New York Times write about it, that Biden's administration is intending to use all long-range missiles that formerly Kiev regime received from US to be used before 20th of January, before President-elect Donald Trump will take office. Hard to tell if this information is correct or not, but it is possibility for sure that Western ruling class will try to use all long-range weapon systems that they have deployed into Kiev-controlled territory before 20th of January, and therefore, obviously, Russian militaries will be ready to repel all such attacks to minimize risks for Russia. Let's continue with some more news. And well, when it comes to these long-range strikes, yesterday Kiev regime once again shelled Lvov city in the Kursk region. Local governor Alexander Hishstein reported about it. Civilian areas were targeted once again. Information is being clarified about what exactly was damaged, about the casualties, and later on, I guess we will have better understanding of the overall damage that was done by Kiev regime's terrorist attack on this city. Unfortunately, before Zelensky's regime is neutralized, there is always high risk that they will conduct such terrorist attacks on Russian cities and towns. Also, well, as I just said, dear friends, it seems like Western ruling class, out of desperation, is pretty much, um, you know, losing control over itself, and as a result, almost every single day now we are receiving reports about allocation of more weapons and more money for the Kyiv regime, formerly Kyiv regime yet again. In reality, of course, these are NATO specialists, NATO militaries that are mainly operating with these weapon systems, especially when it comes to air defense systems and long-range weapon systems. And for example, we have this report now that from Kommersant newspaper that Biden's administration made decision to allocate yet another military aid package for Kyiv regime, this time for 2.5 billion US dollars. And if you think this is all, no, dear friends, because Kyiv regime's representative, so-called Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal, has stated that US will transfer 15 billion US dollars to a Kyiv regime from stolen Russian frozen assets. So let's go through this news. The US will provide Kyiv with 15 billion leveraging $15 billion leveraging frozen Russian central bank assets. Ukrainian Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal announced on Monday. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov has previously warned that Moscow may challenge Washington's theft and their illegal transfers of Russian funds to Kiev in a quarter. Well, I don't think U.S. administration or Western ruling class cares about Russia's countermeasures. They see this 300 billion of frozen Russian assets and they want to steal it, and they will steal it. Just no questions about it. Russia most likely will never see this 300 billion ever. And so most likely only effective way Russia can respond on this theft is to confiscate Western assets in Russia. And they are, by the way, about $300 billion worth of Western assets in Russia, even more. So it should be that way, because all these statements and their attempts to achieve something in a court against Western ruling class, of course, not gonna, deter no one. That's for sure. But it is raining, by the way. It is raining like there is no tomorrow for the Kyiv regime and corrupt Western ruling class, Western elites, and the military-industrial complex. It's a rain of money. They are making some filthy amount of money, by the way, tons of money. And Ukraine definitely is become and will be forever remembered as the biggest money laundering scheme ever created by humanity. Right? And there seems like Trump's administration, members of the Trump's team and future administration are really not happy or pleased with their current developments, when every other day Biden's administration is announcing new funds to be allocated for the Kyiv regime. And Elon Musk, one of the permanent members of the Trump's team, even commented on that. And let's go through this news. For example, Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk has referred to Vladimir Zelensky as an all-time champ in a post on social platform X, following US President Joe Biden's announcement on Monday of a 2.5 billion US arms package for Kiev. Musk's remarks came in response to another X user's comment saying that the Ukrainian leader has genuinely pulled off one of the greatest money heist of all time. And Musk actually agreed with him and called Zelensky champ when it comes to money heist, which is true, by the way. And Trump himself was, quite often calling Zelensky as a greatest salesman. this is attitude, isn't it? These comments may don't mean much right now, but once Trump and his team is in office, I guess we will see some practical moves from these people in regards to Zelensky, because it seems like they're not in favor of Ukrainian Nazis and the fascists. That's for sure. And they don't want this rain of money to continue for those criminals, right? Anyways, let's continue with some more news. RIA Novosti is reporting that Houthi rebels in Yemen once again stated that they targeted Tel Aviv's Ben Gurion International Airport. This is a second or third time in last several days when Houthi rebels are conducting strike on Ben Gurion Airport. No details about results of this strike with hypersonic missiles. It is highly likely that Israeli air defense systems intercepted incoming missiles, although in next maybe even few minutes or hours we will find out about results of these strikes. Houthi rebels time after time are demonstrating that despite large-scale strikes of US, UK, Israel, they are still very much capable force and on regular basis are hitting back on US assets, British assets, and on Israel itself. Meanwhile, political turmoil continues in South Korea, and we have this report that South Korean issues arrest warrant on recently impeached President Yoon Suk Yeol. So yes, that's quite interesting. Most likely, this person that declared martial law for several hours in South Korea just a couple of weeks ago, this person is going to pay the price for that extravaganza, and his inner circle probably will do the same. Seems like South Korean society and political class was really upset with this move of puppet of the globalists. Many people may not pay attention to these new ones, but this person, Yoon Suk Yeol, was a puppet of globalists, by the way, and South Korea ousted him, which is interesting. Seems like South Korea has much more sovereignty than some may anticipated. Although, of course, overall influence of Western ruling class on South Korea is significant, should be significant. If you take in account presence of South Korean businesses in Western economies, I mean, that's quite a leverage that Western ruling class has over South Korea. I mean, they can decimate, if not decimate, they can deal significant damage to South Korean economy if they want to, by introducing sanctions on some South Korean companies. But at least for now, seems like Western ruling class is coping with this demonstration of sovereignty of South Korean people. And right now, dear friends, RIA Novosti is updating information about Ukrainian drone strikes on Russia, and I can see on the screen here update that Russian air defense systems intercepted Ukrainian second drone over the North Ossetia-Alania region of the Russian Federation, North Ossetia-Alania Autonomous Republic of the Russian Federation in Northern Caucasus region. No details about any casualties or damage in Caucasus region as a result of this drone strikes yet. If any update, of course, I will share additional information on Telegram. And well, I will end this update on this news from RIA Novosti that Russian authorities give illegal migrants in Russia time up to 30th of April to legalize in Russia, to deal with all the necessary paperwork to, if they want to stay in Russia. Otherwise I guess they will be deported there. So as you can see, dear friends, illegal migration is an issue, not just in the West, but also in Russia. And Russian authorities are taking quite drastic measures to deal with this situation. So from 1st January of 2025 to 30th of April, all illegal migrants have to legalize themselves or leave Russian territory. Otherwise, some action will be taken by law enforcement or agencies. Deportations, most likely, mass deportations. And this is it for now. Relatively short update, but I had to make this update because I promised that I will only take one day off on 1st of January, and that's what I'm gonna do. So tomorrow I will have day off, dear friends, and I will come back on 2nd of January with updates. And meanwhile, today or tomorrow, I will publish first on Patreon and then on first on Patreon and Boosted pages, and then on YouTube and Rumble, I will publish short video of from streets of Moscow. I try to highlight how beautiful Moscow is, especially during New Year's celebration, New Year's Christmas celebrations, when there is plenty of beautiful installations all around and people are walking around enjoying themselves. So hopefully we will finish montage of that video in next several hours, and I will publish it today or tomorrow in upcoming days. And I hope you will find it interesting also. So yes, this is it for now. Once again, Happy New Year, dear friends. Thank you all for your attention and support. Have a wonderful New Year's celebration, and see you next year. Bye for now.